Have you ever felt like life is too much to bear? Like no matter what you do, the struggles keep piling up? In moments like these, we may wonder, where is God in all of this? But what if the answer to overcoming life's challenges lies in the power of faith? The Bible tells us that faith is not just belief, but a trusting relationship with God. In the book of Hebrews, we are reminded that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, Hebrews 11 verse 1. Faith is what gives us the strength to face our trials, knowing that we are not alone. But how does faith help us in times of difficulty? First, faith allows us to see beyond our present circumstances. When we face hardships, it's easy to get lost in the pain and confusion. But with faith, we begin to look at life through God's perspective. We understand that suffering is not the end, but a part of a greater plan. As St. Paul reminds us, we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, Romans 8 verse 28. Even in our trials, God is at work, molding us, strengthening us, and preparing us for something greater. Second, faith helps us endure when the going gets tough. The challenges we face may seem overwhelming, but with faith, we are reminded that God's grace is sufficient for us. In 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9, St. Paul shares a powerful message, but he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." Faith gives us the strength to press on, even when we feel weak and broken. It allows us to rely on God's power, not our own. Furthermore, faith is what enables us to trust in God's timing. When we're in the midst of struggle, we may wonder why things aren't changing or why our prayers seem unanswered. But faith teaches us that God's timing is always perfect. It's not always easy to accept, but trusting that God knows what's best for us can bring us peace. As the psalmist says, "Be still, and know that I am God," Psalm 46 verse 10. In those quiet moments, when everything seems uncertain, we can find rest in knowing that God is in control. Another important aspect of faith is that it encourages us to turn to God in prayer. When life becomes too difficult, prayer is the lifeline that connects us to God's peace and strength. Jesus Himself teaches us, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest," Matthew 11 verse 28. In prayer, we open our hearts to God, sharing our struggles, but also listening for His guidance. Prayer doesn't always remove the challenges, but it gives us the courage to face them with God's help. Finally, faith in God transforms our hearts and helps us grow through adversity. When we choose to trust God, even in the darkest moments, we begin to see our challenges as opportunities to deepen our relationship with Him. As we face life's storms, we learn more about His love, His faithfulness, and His power. Jesus tells us in John 16 verse 33, "In this world you will have trouble. But take heart. I have overcome the world." Faith reminds us that Jesus has already overcome the world, and through Him, we can overcome anything. In conclusion, faith is not a passive belief, it's an active trust in God's love and plan for our lives. When we face life's challenges, faith helps us see beyond the immediate struggles, endure with strength, trust in God's perfect timing, and pray for guidance. May our faith in God be the anchor that keeps us grounded, no matter the storm. When we hold on to faith, we hold on to the promise that God will never leave us, and He will always lead us to victory.